So how you been, Benji?
Pretty good, brother.
It's been a while. What was the last time we were here? We grilled and shit, right? Right after you got the house?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Um, so, you got the house, and first thing I found out was you have an entire car lift.
Yes.
How wild is that?
Pretty wild. Everybody loves to come over and use that.
Yeah, it's like, I think you're the only person I know that actually has a house with a car lift in it. Like, except for maybe I don't know, maybe there's other people that I don't know they have a car lift, but I don't know anybody personally that's like, yeah, I got a 8-car garage with a car lift.
Right.
And just working at the mines, just.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, you got to do it big.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like, and it's like a nice ass house too. You got it for a pretty good deal, right? Like,
I only actually paid $120. I put $10,000 down, and payments are only about $900 a month.
Damn. So that's a cheap house.
Yeah.
For the location and everything.
Yeah. You couldn't build something like it is here for that much.
One of the weirdest things though that I've ever seen about it, minus the giant garage in the back, is the sink, the double sink wall.
Yeah. In the bathroom.
Yeah, so there's when you walk in, so it connects the garage and the small bedroom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So when you walk in from the garage, there's a sink right there to your left on a little small wall that comes out. But then there's on the other side of the wall there's another sink.
Yeah.
With a
his
counter
and hers.
And shit. Yeah. So but I think it's dope as shit because it's oh hey, I've been working in the shop, let me use this sink instead of using the sink that I got to use all the time for the bathroom or something. Like the guest sink or whatever. The nice sink, I guess. But yeah, that's wild. But yeah, it's a nice ass place. It's a lot bigger too, the land wise.
Yeah.
The yard and stuff. That's what when you drive by, it's okay, yeah, it's a decent sized area. But if you go walk through the yard, you're like, shit, I'm gonna get tired walking around the house.
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger than you'd think. But yeah.
Started from the garage and now we're here.
Yeah. We started in the garage. Oh gosh, that place. The place went through phases too.
Yeah.
The old garage, nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
There's a select handful of people that know what it even used to look like. And you're gonna try to explain it, but it just doesn't even hold up. The green, what is that, turf carpet?
Yeah.
The green old
glued
school.
Down
Yeah.
old school
Junk carpet.
Yeah.
Burns everywhere in it.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a card table in there?
Yeah.
It was a busted up card table,
it was
worth
just
nothing.
Holes in the walls and
it was terrible.
Yeah.
The couch, the roached out couch. I mean,
Yeah.
oh god. We didn't give a damn though.
No.
We slept on that couch.
Yeah.
So many times. But it was a party place.
Oh yeah.
It was that was a place where it was okay, we had a small group of friends that would come there. Well, at the time, it was a small group of friends that would come there.
It grew pretty quickly.
Yeah. It's definitely weird. Well, I wasn't, so, it's Garrison, my brother Garrison, brought me there, one day. It was when I got my license, and, I think I got my license or he got his, I can't remember. I think it was maybe it was when he got his, but either way, he took me there, and then so I had known of Blake, because he used to hang out with Dylan and them when they were really little, and I'd been to his house before, but I didn't really think about where we were going. So then I kind of met Blake there, met Gabe there, pretty much everybody. I just met everybody, and almost for the first time, I guess you'd say. And then, so after that, we started hanging out there like, every day. Like,
Yeah.
That's where I was at every day, all day. Like if I wasn't at school, I was at the garage. But we did all kinds of stuff there, wild stuff, shit that we definitely were not supposed to. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But it was always fun. In the long run, though, I'd say it kept everybody out of trouble.
Yeah. It was.
It was like a house for hooligans.
Yeah.
The house for hooligans. Like
Even the cops kind of knew that we were a little bit wild, but they were like, just let him be.
yeah, that's what everybody's like. Hey, or we'd get like calls, of people or texts or stuff. Be like, hey, I just heard the cops were gonna come to the garage, and we're like, bullshit. Like
Yeah.
they know better. Like they know there's nothing here that they're really gonna be able to get us for by the time they get here. So, yeah, I mean, like,
I remember, like, right when the first time, like, it was finally finished. The cop came and knocked on the door or whatever, and we hurried up and hid what we needed to hide. And then he was just like, "You guys need to keep it down." And we're like, "All right." And we were just sitting there watching a movie. And then he left. And ever since then, I don't know about any. Well, other than the 5 stars calling the cops on me.
yeah, 5-star. Yeah, that was a terrible. That was a terrible spot to put 5-star.
Yeah.
Even though I guarantee 5-star was there first.
Yeah.
They should have just moved because we weren't going nowhere.
No.
We were surrounded by 5-star housing, and which is like what is it? Is it like disabled?
Yeah, mostly
Like,
disabled
yeah.
or people that can't like really work in society.
Yeah, and so they like it's like a little housing unit deal. It's like, and we're in the west side. We're on like we're not the best part of town for sure.
No.
And that's where like that's where the Hoodnecks group came from, was because
Yeah.
it was like essentially a bunch of half-assed rednecks in the middle of the hood.
Yeah.
So we were like, fuck it, we're the Hoodnecks. And like everybody knew, like it was like we were surrounded by like meth houses and
Oh, yeah.
crack houses, both sides on both corners of the street.
They finally tore them down.
Yeah, that one. I actually came home from working off the road, and that house was gone, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, we used to get in so many arguments across the road for them. Well, they're just tweaking out. I mean, they'd just be tweaking
No
out.
lights on, just like coming over. Can I borrow your lighter?
Yeah.
God, get off of the fucking property.
Yeah, like,
Drawing attention over here. Shit.
yeah, it's like, but in the location where I think it was perfect because the cops didn't give a shit what we were doing. Like, the most we ever did was smoke pot.
Right.
Like, so, or like drink a little bit, but we never like did anything super crazy. So they were just worried about all them other meth heads. Like, they weren't even worried about us.
No.
They were like, oh, just let these kids be. We got to deal with these fucking 12 crack houses we have down the street.
Right.
Yeah, I think it definitely kept everybody out of trouble though, because for the most part, I mean, obviously there was like the random, like we have freaking Alex freaking running from the cops or something.
Yeah.
Like,
You gotta have that one guy.
Yeah.
And Alex was that one guy.
Yeah, but yeah, there's always something going on too. Like, and it was always like we never really threw parties. I mean, we did, but they weren't like, hey, let's have like a 300-person party. No, it's like, it was almost like you're invited or don't come
Yeah.
until later on. And then, like, people would bring other people, and then they would bring other people. Like, it was just like, hey, who even is this?
Yeah.
A couple of times I was like, man, I don't even know, like, there's 3 or 4 people here, I don't even know. And that's when it started to get sketchy, right? Because then you'd be like, oh, well, so-and-so said they heard the cops were coming to the garage. And we're like, well, what the fuck? Now we got a bunch of random-ass motherfuckers here.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd just be like, all right, everybody out. And then
Yeah.
you'd have, like, you're back to the 6 or 7 people. Yeah, you got quite injured in the garage.
Yes,
Multiple
I did.
times. And there's a lot of injuries that came out of the garage. Garrison broke his hand twice. You broke your fucking leg?
Leg and ankle.
Yeah. At the same time?
Yeah.
Because of a book bag? That was wild. You were laid up for a long time after that.
Yeah.
It was a long time. Had the roll your own cigarette machine. I seen one of those in a gas station the other day. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same one.
I've been trying to find one. I can't find them anywhere.
It was at like a, I can't remember if it was a Shell or a something like that. You know what I mean? Like that, like that kind of gas station. But they had the roll your own machine, and I'm pretty sure it was the exact same one. And I seen it, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, that wasn't never good.
No.
I was like, Aiden was all over the roll your own machine.
Oh yeah.
He'd be like, we'd come home for lunch, and you were laying in the chair. Or not come home. See, I always say, like, come home. Like, that's where we went. So it was, like, the second home. But, like, Aiden would come. We'd all get there for lunch. And Aiden would be like, all right. He'd roll, like, 60 cigarettes. And he'd leave you a pile.
Yeah.
And then he'd take, like, 5 or 6, and then he'd have all 5 or 6 gone by the time he gets back to the school. Like, he'd just chain smoke them. I was like, oh my god. That was wild. Yeah, I don't know how he did that. I never could smoke cigarettes, really. I did, like, a few times, or if we were, like, drinking or something.
Right.
Just as, like, a, hey, we're partying, smoke a cigarette. I think it was just, like, a tradition almost. But, yeah, not as a habit, though.
No.
I never did get... I wouldn't say I've been hooked on anything. Like, I chew all the time.
Right.
But I can also be like, damn, I don't have no chew. I don't have to have any chew for, like, days or weeks. I could just stop chewing. Now, everybody says that, right?
Yeah.
that's like
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, that's like a crack addict. I sound like the recovery crack. It's like, I don't have a problem. It's like, I can just stop smoking meth whenever I want.
Yeah, I just don't want to right now.
Like, there's some times where I'm like, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think, like, I'll even do that to myself on purpose. I think I'm going to stop chewing for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just, like, stop for, like, a week. Like, okay, I'm good. Like, if I really wanted, if I was like, hey, I have to stop now, like, I could just, all right, see ya. Like, I'm done. That's how when I smoke, like, I would smoke a cigarette. Everybody have a cigarette. Camel Crush, menthol, the little ball in the filter.
Yeah.
Be like, you want a cigarette? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, just because, everybody smokes a cigarette, you don't be that one motherfucker not smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
So, like, you're like, oh, okay. So, we'd freaking, I'd smoke a cigarette, and then, like, but obviously, like, it was around friends, so it was like everybody had cigarettes all the time, like, up at the old lot and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we were always smoking cigarettes. But there's some people that'd be like, okay, like, I have to have a cigarette, like, that were at the garage or at the lot or whatever, and I could just, like, turn around and be like, oh no, I don't even smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
You smoke one for fun, I guess, is what it'd be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like drinking's the same way too. I don't think I've ever had a problem with that. There for a while in the garage, when I was on the road, I'd catch myself drinking like 6 or 7 though,
Right.
like right after work, just sit on my computer or something. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, we can't be doing this.
Yeah.
I was like, you put them down though.
Yeah.
You put it's Modelo's now, right?
Modelo's, yep.
Oh God.
Shout out to Modelo.
Yeah, hey, at least it's not the R&R.
Yeah.
That Ricky.
That fucking rich and rare, boy.
Dude, that stuff was different, for sure.
Yeah, that's some
Like,
demons in it somewhere.
Yeah, like, there's nothing good coming out of Rich and Rare ever. Like, I feel like, yeah, no, there's just nothing good. There's no explanation for it.
Mad Dog.
Oh God, I had Mad Dog not too long ago.
Oh boy.
We had a little get together, I'd say. Little get together at B Walls. This is a while ago. But we had to get together, and I was like, you know what? Let's go on a throwback. And we got 2/5 of Mad Dog 2020. And, yeah, it's like $6 a fifth. So it's like, I mean, like it's not that much. Like it's $12 and you will get hammered. Like and it's the fruitiest. It's wine essentially. It should not be called wine. I don't think it should be able to call wine. I think that should be able to be called like I don't even know.
Like some kind of fruity moonshine.
Yeah. Like you can't call it wine because if you call it wine, that means like you can drink a bottle and a half and not and you just be chilling. I feel like people put down wine. People that don't drink put down wine. Yeah. People that don't drink and put down Mogan David you're done. Like I hope you like sleeping in grass because that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you definitely don't want Mogan David or Mad Dog right after dinner or nothing like that.
Yeah, no, or with dinner. Yeah, like if you're drinking Mad Dog, you're out fighting demons. Yeah. like you're ready to ask questions the next morning on what happened that night.
Yeah,
like because that's like we threw that BU all threw that little get together, and his parents knew he was having a little party and stuff, so we were all just there. And I ended up drinking both the fifths of Mad Dog 2020. And I can honestly say I have very little memory. Apparently I broke something that of like his dad's or something.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and then I don't even know. I guess I like fell or I have no idea what happened, but I broke something and then I woke up and I seen somebody walk past me and like walk in front of me. I'm like just opening my eyes, right? So I thought it was Kaylee going to the front porch. And so I like, I'm like stand up. Dude, I'm like, I got my boots on, like muck boots on, fully dressed, hat on, the whole deal. Sitting on his couch, like feet up on my ottoman, just head back, mouth open, passed out. So I wake up and I go and I kind of like look through the blind. And it was not Kaylee and Brent. It was definitely Brent's parents. And I was like, fuck. Like I had never even met Brent's parents. Like I might have met him like partially. I don't know though. Like I don't even think I've met him like that. So I was like, shit. I was like, you know what I mean? Like they just walked past me. Like obviously they've seen me. They're drinking coffee on the front porch, right? So like I'm like, all right, we're just not gonna make this any awkward than it has to be. So I turn around, I go to Brent's room. And I'm like, Brent, I'm going to hit the road. And he's like, okay. And I was like, just letting you know your parents are home. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. Thanks for,
Yeah.
And so I leave. And I'm like backing out of the driveway, And obviously I'm backing out. And they're sitting on the front porch. So they're like looking at me. And they wave. And I just kind of give them, like a little wave back. And I'm just like, like the embarrassed wave. And then just leave. I was like, that's so wild. I was like, somebody couldn't just pick me up, throw me in their car, and just take me to, like, Blake's or something.
Right.
Or taking me home. Like, I was like, wow. I was like, thanks, guys. I was like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. I try not to get to that point. That's why I like to twist the teas.
Yeah.
I can put the twisted tea down and be all right. But what was I gonna say? It's like, yeah, we should drink all the time in the garage.
Oh yeah.
But it was like, yeah, we all drank and we all stayed there too.
Right.
I mean, for the most part.
Each other sometimes.
Yeah, like literally 3 people sleeping on a single cot, like a military cot. Yeah, it was badass looking there for a while though.
Yeah.
Like if we could have kept the rowdiness down a little bit, which pisses me off so much when we think about it, because we put so much work into it, and then obviously Blake's dad put a bunch of money into it to remodel it. And then it's all, I mean, there's just about nothing left. Yeah. Like, there is, but there's not at the same time. Like, it's gonna take work to get back to the way it was. But at the one time, you gotta think, the garage never locked, really. I mean, it did, but you could, like, push the door open. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you barely, like, just hit the door hard with your hand and it just opened up. And then, obviously, the back door's never locked ever at all. But, I mean, there's nothing really worth nothing in there now, but there was. We had a lot of money worth of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like, we had recliners, all kinds of couches and shit, which I wouldn't say those were worth a lot of money, because a lot of those came off the side of the road and shit. But we had, like, furniture. I mean, we had dressers and shit in there. At one time, when we first got it done, we had, like, 3 Xboxes, 3 big-ass TVs. What I think the smallest TV we had was, like, a 42-inch, right?
Yeah, 42 or 47.
Yeah,
like that.
and, like, we had the 2 50 inches, I think. 50 and 52 or something like that. And then we had, like, 2 beds, the bar, damn near a kitchen. Like, if we would have had a sink, we would have had a kitchen. Like, we had a microwave, mini fridge, the whole deal. Yeah, it was badass there for a while. But, yeah, nothing lasts forever, I guess.
No, just a step in life, brother.
Yeah, so it'd be. I think Blake's wanting to bring it back, kind of restore it, just for fun.
Yeah,
because
I'll be about it. I
yeah,
hope.
Yeah, I'm down. That's where we were gonna hold this, but I don't know. There's so much work that needs to be done. I already got all the stuff, and I was like, we're doing the podcast, so I'm not waiting no longer. I was like, it's going to take a long time to get that garage fixed.
Yeah.
I was like, the money that it's going to have to be put into it, and the time, like, with everybody working now, back then, hardly anybody was working, so we just banged it out and built it. That's what people see. Like, if anybody had pictures and you showed somebody, they're like, there's no way you guys built this. Like, well, yeah, we did. like we had, like, it's just a bunch of high school kids, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, of all ages. We had people from, like, from freshman year to all in between. Like, we had, like, a year or 2 or 3 out of high school, all the way down to, like, freshman year. And it was just, like, all the hoodlums. Well, I would say all the hoodlums, but all, like, the common sense hoodlums. Like, the outcasts, I guess. Like, because it wasn't, like, there was no, like, I guess you didn't have any, like, jocks, I guess, of high school. You know what I mean? Like, all the preppy kids and stuff, you didn't have those hanging at the garage. Nobody, like, everybody that was there, we didn't like those guys, really. Like, we could stand them during school, but it was like, yeah, no, like I guess we had 1 or 2, like Ethan and them, they were really good at sports and shit. But still, Ethan and them, they were at the garage a lot, but not that much. Not as much as, like, the 5 or 6 of us that were there, like, every day. Like, every day. Shit, whenever I turned 18, I might as well live there. Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, once I halfway got rid of my curfew, it was like, hey, I'm just going to stay at the garage. But you could back then. You know what I mean? Like, you could sleep in the garage back then. We had 2 full beds, couches, recliners, the whole deal.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
So what about this Keith doing the city council?
Oh, buddy. Oh, yeah. I messaged him, but I got to talk to him. I want him on bad. Yeah. I want him on so bad. But yeah, he's running for city council, which I don't know how good you know Keith, but, like, Sid's, like, first grade. This dude's been saying, or we've been, like, he, like, has always been into politics, right? I think it's, like, kind of big in his family, like, watch the news, keep track of everything that's going on, which is smart, right? Like, you want to know what's going on, but we've always told him, like, oh, this dude's he's gonna be president, like, it's gonna happen. Like, we've always, you know what I mean, like, all of the class presidents and stuff like that, like, he's always been big into that stuff. He was always in, like, we did mock elections in high school. Oh, he was all about it. Like, he was, you know what I mean, like, he's like, oh, this is my shit. Everybody's like, hey, we want Keith. because, like, you know what I mean? He was supposed to be funny, but Keith, he'd make it funny, but he was like, okay, but we're going to have some legit points. He's all about the politics, but he knows it. He goes to every city council meeting every Monday. Like, actually, probably this afternoon, he'll be going to a city council meeting.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. And he'd go to him in high school. He'd have no... So in government, we had to get our government points, right? And we had to, like, go to... Like, city council meetings counted as, like, so many points, everyone you went to. And then just, like, stuff throughout the community that was going on, like volunteering and stuff like that. It all counted for points. He would go to every city council meeting, which he was already going to every city council meeting. So, like, he's just getting points for doing something he already did. But, yeah, he goes to every single one. He posts it, and then he started the Flag Friday.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
That's dope. I'm either, like, always busy or doing something, or, like, honestly, I'll just, like, forget he does it, and then, like, I'll see it on his story, but they're already, like, walking, and I'm like, shit. I was like, I missed it again. Like, I went once or twice to it. It'd be cool if we could get a lot more people to go. Yeah. So, yeah, if you are listening to this, Flag Friday, every Friday, Keith goes. I believe it's Keys Park. They start there, and then I can't remember where they walk to. I know back whenever I went to it, it was, I want to say they walk all the way down to, like, McDonald's or something and come back. But I do know, like, down Washington Street, but I do know, like, we had people that would, like, come there, and then maybe, like, or two people, somebody dropped their car off at, like, somewhere, like, halfway down the route, and then the other person would drive to the park, and they're like, well, we can't walk the whole way. Like, there's a couple older people that walked, and they're like, well, we can't walk the whole way. So, okay, well, we're going to walk this far and stop, and then everybody else keep going, and then they might jump in a car and go back, or like, wait there, like, at a restaurant or something, and just wait there and hang out a little bit until we get back to that point, and then they'll walk back to the park with us, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I really want to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, yeah, he's I wouldn't say all-knowing, but he knows a lot. So, like, he knows a lot more than I do, probably. So, definitely city council stuff and politics and stuff like that. I got a lot of, especially with all the recent stuff going on with Ukraine and all that, and China, and I'm ready to hear what he has to say about it. Ready to hear about it. Oh yeah, that'd be good though. Catch him like right after city council meeting, before he's before he's in it or something. But just catch him. Oh yeah, to where he's ready to go. I think he's always ready to go though. I'd probably call him right now and he'd just be like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. But yeah, it'd be fun. That's wild though. You see it's always weird driving through town and you see his picture on like the signs.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the heck? You know, like that, like he's actually doing it. Like he's actually doing it.
Good
Proud though.
him.
Yeah, it's
good for him.
It's dope. Yeah, he don't mess around. He's got his stuff in line for sure. But yeah, dude, last night was wild with Wade on. Dude, we went in to, or how did you listen? You listened to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, how far did you make it into that?
You guys are talking about Germany and the UFOs.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. So we went into everything, right? Like, I think we ended up stopping on like most popular religions.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, that's how deep we went into it. Which neither of us are like knowing. We don't know a lot of shit, right? So it's like, it's like we were talking. That's what in the explanation deal, put like a disclaimer because I was like, just this is all fun. I was like, we're not experts by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, we're essentially talking out of our asses, but it's fun. Like, and there's some stuff that we'd know. And if I don't know, I was trying to kind of fact check it as we went. But yeah, it's definitely not to be taken verbatim.
Yeah.
Like, if we say something, you're like, "Oh, is that right?" Then definitely look it up first. Don't go off what we say. Yeah, but look that up first for sure. And then if we're wrong, for sure, put it in the comments or something, because we might forget to look it up. Like, but yeah, we talked about all kinds of stuff. COVID never came up though. We never did COVID topics, which is wild. But yeah, even the night before that, I was kind of sad because we were at Bryce's, and I don't remember what we started talking about, but he comes in there. Oh, we were talking about martial arts, like jujitsu and shit. So we were talking about like what did I say? Oh, we were sitting in there, and I'm like, I told him, or who's sitting with me? Keenan, and we were sitting there, and I was like, I'm highly confident that I would have a very good shot in a one-on-one with anybody in the house right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm highly confident of that. Like, not 100%, but I'm very highly confident. And because obviously you gotta think like Bryce is he's built like a shipwreck house.
Yeah.
Like he's a bigger dude. I was like, but I was like, what's his name came in, Wade, and he was like, oh, he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I would say that, and I was like, oh, I'd say that, and I was like, and then I was like, stand up, only stand up. I told Keenan, this is when Wade walked in, and I was like, Wade 3 hits, that's it, because he was standing right there, and he was like, what? So he came over there, and he was like, dude, I used to wrestle all this. So we got started talking about that, and we started talking all kinds of stuff like jiu-jitsu, which I would love. I wish we had somewhere around here. I bet there might be somewhere, but
Yeah.
I know there's that new thing that opened up in town.
That kickboxing place?
Yeah, I haven't even went and checked that out, but most actual martial arts I've ever done is I did Taekwondo when I was little.
Yeah.
I hate Taekwondo, personally. Like, me doing Taekwondo, I never understood the point of it. Like, Taekwondo does not work unless somebody else knows Taekwondo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if me and you were to get in a fight right now and I tried to do Taekwondo shit, you would beat the piss out of me. Because you're not going to be throwing a punch from your hip.
No.
Or you're not going to be throwing a punch like you would. And I'm not going to be able to block it like I would if I was, like, sparring in Taekwondo or, like, competing in Taekwondo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you're just going to be throwing haymakers. You know? I'm going to be like, oh, shit. Like, I need to run. Like, but jiu-jitsu is crazy. Because, yeah, I mean, that's just... It's like wrestling a fucking snake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you wrestle somebody that's really good at jiu-jitsu, it's like wrestling a snake. Or, like, even fighting them. Like, yeah, if you're really good stand-up, like, yeah, you can probably get them standing up. But if you go on the ground with somebody that's like a black belt in jiu-jitsu,
Oh, yeah, you're done.
you're done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you let them put you on the ground, you better hope to God you can get away quick. Because if not, they're going to lock you down so quick that it's insane. But yeah, speaking of martial arts, what's been going on at UFC? Have you been watching it?
Yes, that's what I'm actually trying to fact check right now. Nate Diaz's last fight's coming up.
Last fight.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, Cowboy Cerrone retired.
Cowboy Cerrone retired?
Yes, sir.
I have missed out on a lot of shit.
Yeah, Connor is...
Yeah, well, I was going to say, what is going on with Connor? Because I haven't heard nothing.
He's in the filmmaking right now. He's going to be the lead role of the new Roadhouse movie.
No shit. Okay, so
But
he's...
he is going to fight. He's back training and everything, but I'm sure that he's going to slow down with the movie filming. But
Yeah.
that's what Cowboy's trying to do, is be a movie star. That's what he said.
Yeah, kind of switch up roles. How old is Cowboy now?
I had to check.
Yeah, I'll look up real quick. But yeah,
He's in his 40s though. He's had a lot of fights.
yeah, that's what in that kind of sport just takes a toll. Actually, I'm not gonna be able to look it up. You're gonna have to because I don't.
He said that he actually lost the love of fighting before he fought Connor.
Oh yeah.
And he was just doing it for the fans, and
Yeah.
now he's just like, I just want to have time with my boys. And
Yeah, he's just getting old. He's done with it. You can't. Yeah, he's probably wore out, dude. I mean, he's been fighting forever.
Yeah.
He's probably hurting, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't do a sport like that, and just keep doing it forever. That's like, I mean, it's like any contact sport, though.
Yeah.
Like football, like you don't see 6-year-olds playing football. Like, you know what I mean? You might see 6-year-olds playing chess, but or golf. It's like golf. Golf's not a contact sport. Now, there's a lot of people get hurt in golf, like their shoulders and hips and stuff. But yeah, not like that. How old was he? Did you
He's
find it?
39 years of age.
39. Holy crap! Yeah,
But he's fought everybody. Like literally, he's fought all the top
yeah.
people.
Like, now he could be 60, and I'll tell you right now, if that dude's 60, I still wouldn't mess with him.
But no.
Like, because you gotta think, at that, whenever he's fighting now, he somewhat has something to lose, like when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's old, he's just like, I could die any day. You know what I mean? So he's just gonna beat the shit out of somebody, and have no remorse. Like, him as an old man and somebody trying to mess with him, like his grandkids. Could you imagine being like Cowboy Cerrone or Mike Tyson's grandkids?
Yeah.
Like, if that was does he? I don't know if Mike Tyson has grandkids, but I don't know if he has kids at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
But yeah, like, could you imagine somebody like that being your like grandfather and you're just gonna like mess with him or something? Like, no. Like yeah, like he hits you one time. I don't give a fuck if he's 80 years old. I guarantee he hits you one time, it's still gonna hurt. Like, because you don't just completely lose that. Like Mike Tyson, he's getting up there too, ain't he?
Oh yeah. I think he's actually supposed to be fighting one of the Paul brothers.
No.
Yeah. I think.
Like Logan Paul or one of them.
Yeah.
I can never tell who they are. Like,
Jake, it keeps calling out Tyson Fury's brother, Tommy Fury, and that just keeps falling apart. But if he ever got in the ring with one of the Furies, I'm sure that would be good for Jake in his name.
Is Jake the? Because one of them's like a legit fighter, right? Like, one of them's decently good.
Jake's knocked everybody out. He fought Tyron Woodley, which was a UFC champion, knocked him out twice.
Yeah.
Ben Askren knocked him out.
Yeah, like,
Knocked
which
out that
Ben
NBA
Askren,
player.
knocking Ben Askren out ain't saying much, right? Because
No.
he was a wrestler.
Yeah.
He came from the wrestling world, so, yeah, that's like the Ben Askren and Robbie Lawler fight. Oh
Yeah.
God, I lost my mind. I lost my mind. Robbie. So, to anybody that didn't see that, Ben Askren, he's on Robbie's back. Robbie's like kind of on his knees, and he's got his one hand down, and one hand, I'm pretty sure it was like holding his arm or something. And Robbie Lawler goes and puts his left hand on the mat, and as soon as he does that, they call the fight.
Yeah.
And
Said he was out.
yeah, they said he was out, and he immediately, right? Like, Ben Askren jumps on his back, and Robbie Lawler stands up and looks the ref dead in the eyes and was like, "What the hell?" He was like, "I'm not out." He was like, I literally, as soon as he called it, he stood back up and he was like, "What the hell?" Like, he was just taking a break. Like,
Yeah.
He was just like, put his hands down to reset himself up, and they called the fight. Oh, I would have been pissed.
Oh, yeah. That's one guy I would not want in my face. If you ever watched him versus Rory McDonald, and both of them, their faces were actually caved in, blood all over the mat. And they were
Jesus.
still going at it. It's like,
Yeah, he was just a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Like Robbie Lawler, he had just cinder blocks his hands. It's like it wasn't even fair. Like if you were getting hit, I would hate. I mean, I would hate to get hit in the face by any UFC fighter personally,
Right.
but that's one that. Jeez, I can't imagine just seeing in person. You went to a UFC fight, right?
Yeah, I went and seen Donald Cerrone in Chicago.
Damn. What was it? I can just imagine, like, was it loud enough to where, I mean, or could you just hear them just hitting each other?
It was totally different than watching it on TV. Like, you could actually hear them hitting each other. Like, when Valentina Shevchenko knocked out Jessica Ai with that leg kick, I mean, I thought she was dead. Like, the whole crowd got silent, and she just laid there. And after that smack, the smack was so loud, it, like, shut everybody up. Everybody's like, she's dead.
She's done. Like, that's it. Like, it's game over. Dude, yeah, because I can only imagine, like, especially with their gloves, because you know that, like, abs pop to the sound, too. So whenever that glove just smacks somebody's jaw, and then you hear the smack, and you hear just their limp body just hit the mat. Like, it's just like, it's like a crumple. And, like, that, oh, God. And you're just standing there waiting to see if they stand back up. Like, and see if they're even alive. Because very high, I mean, there's high chances you get in the head, you don't get back up.
Yeah.
I mean, which it's insane on how many people can just get knocked out and get back up. Like, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to be conditioned to, out of this world, to get knocked out by, like, people are getting knocked out by Mike Tyson in his prime and just after the fight being all right. Like, like there's no way. Like, no, we could all, obviously everybody knows, like, once you fight for so long, you get hit in the head so many times, like, you get injuries, like, head injuries. Like Mike Tyson is not okay in the head.
No.
Like, he has been beaten, his head has been beat in.
Yeah.
Like, but he could just eat punches. Like, you just sit there and punch him in the face all day, and he was just like, okay, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, once he got tired of it, he just wouldn't let you hit it. Mm-hmm. So, like it was either you hit him on a whim, or he just didn't let you touch him, or if you were hitting him, he was just eat it. Like, you was just, oh, okay, yeah, that tickled. like, oh, that's wild, though. I don't know if I couldn't do UFC personally. I'd mess with, like, jiu-jitsu and shit where, like, it's just on the ground, like, wrestling and stuff. That stuff's dope because it's a lot more technical, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it'd take a lot of training for me to go fight somebody like in a ring just to be confident to.
Yeah.
Like you're, and the thing is like, you're fighting somebody for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, I imagine people in the UFC and stuff, like, you have to kind of, I think that's why they all talk shit to each other so much, is everybody's pissed off at each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like you'd have to be able to just go out there and beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to have to make something up in my head at least to be pissed off at you for. And then I have a reason to go out there and beat the shit out of you. Because, like, I can't just go out there and be like, okay, I'm going to go beat the crap out of this dude for money.
Right.
When, like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand some of them are like, fuck yeah, I want that money, so I'm going to go beat this dude up. But, like, I couldn't. Like, you'd have to piss me off. But if you piss me off, then yeah, we're going to fight. Like, but the randomness of it is weird. But yeah, it's crazy. UFC's a different deal.
Yeah. Having somebody tell you who you're gonna fight, you know.
Yeah.
Without you actually even having confrontation with them, they're just like, you were fighting this guy, and have a press conference, and the next thing you know, you're in the cage.
Yeah, that's like, I think the press conferences is huge.
Yeah. Because
it's like, okay, I'm going to go out here and talk shit to this dude. He's going to talk shit back. And then it riles them up. And then they're ready to fight. Yeah. But if you just went out there and were like, hey, you're going to fight him, and you just don't, like, have any conversation or any contact, and then you just go in the ring with this random dude and fight, I'd be like, it'd be different for sure. Because you got to think, the UFC fights, not all of them, but a lot of them are personal.
Yeah.
Like, they turn personal.
They turn personal quick.
That even if it's not, when you get in that ring, if it's not personal right there, that first time you get smacked, you're like, whoa, no. Like, not again. Like, that's why I think Connor he just got in everybody's head.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a mental game for him. He's just playing a game with everybody.
He's a different kind of dog. He's got a few screws loose, I think.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He was just going out there, fuck these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, just going crazy. And for no reason. Like, he could not have said a word about somebody, and then the next day at a press conference, he will roast your life. Like, and then take a shot of whiskey and beat your ass for it. like, for no reason. Like,
even after that last fight with Dustin, when he broke his leg, Joe Rogan went over to interview him. He was, your wife's in my DMs and all that.
To who? Who does he say that to?
Dustin Poirier.
Oh, my God.
He broke his leg throwing a punch. And so Dustin won, and Dustin did the walk, like that Connor walk.
Yeah.
Acting like him, and then he told Joe to come over and interview him, and he was sitting there screaming, and his leg was in half, and he's still screaming at Dustin, saying, your wife's in my DMs, you little bitch. I don't care if it's outside in the street, I'm going to kill you. It's like, my God.
He's different, dude. Nobody in their life, well, I mean, I guess you did snap your leg in half, and you tried to sleep it off, but...
Yeah.
But... Yeah, he's different. He's just like, his legs just folded over, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to talk shit. I'm just going to continue to talk shit while they take me out on a fucking stretcher.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine. I've never broken a bone. Well, the only time I've broken a bone was my bike wreck. And, like, I don't remember it at all. You know what I mean? So, like, I remember my neck being broken, obviously, because it broke for a while. Mm-hmm. But... you know, it hurt bad, but like, but the actual accident itself, like when it broke, I don't remember, and I broke like my face, like on my forehead, my nose and stuff around there, and I don't remember that, like the impact, because yeah, I can imagine the actual impact, like somebody kicks you in the leg and snaps your leg,
Yeah.
Like at first, like what's his name? That they kicked and then he stepped back and his leg
that's happened
folded
a couple times. But Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva. The video. Oh God, that video is just disgusting.
His leg wrapping around the other dude's leg.
Yeah, he just wraps it around and then he goes to step back and it just whoop. And you're like, oh my gosh. You're just like, no. I mean, it makes you weak.
Yeah.
Like, it makes your legs just feel like Jello watching it. But. Yeah, it's stuff like I don't know what that feeling is. Obviously, he didn't know at first, so he's like, yeah, he probably just like was like, what the shit? Like, he wobbled on it, but then afterwards, you gotta think that just like, oh my God, my leg is like in half right now.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be crazy. The crazy part too is you could snap it like that, and it's all internal, so there's there's not blood everywhere.
Right.
Like it's just. You're just like, that's not right.
Yeah.
like yours, when you woke up on the bed, it was folded over the edge of the bed. Yeah. Your ankle's just like folding off the edge of the bed, and you're like,
we should probably go to the hospital.
Yeah, like, so you should probably call my mom. You can't think we need to go to the hospital. Your mom was like,
yeah,
tell him to get dressed. Blake tells that story the best.
Yeah.
Just the way Blake talks, and he's just like, tell him get dressed. I'm on the way.
Like, him and Alex had to like let me out there to the car, and they're sitting in the waiting room high as balls, just laughing. And I'm laughing because I can hear them outside laughing. And I'm like, so is it broke? They're like, well, we can't really tell you, but
like it looks pretty damn broke.
Yeah.
If I was to take a guess, the angle that your foot is at right now,
yeah.
I'm going to say yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. But, alright, I'm going to take a little break here. I'm going to go to the bathroom. We'll be back. Alright, and we're back.
And we are back.
We are. So, yeah, where did we end off? I don't even remember what we were talking about. See, that's the problem. But yeah, so we were talking about last night. We were talking about what the hell was it? Oh, he was going on and on about Roman Catholic stuff. Dude, he was telling me shit. I was like, what? And I was like, I don't know. But did you know that the most... What did we look up? Last night we looked up on most popular religions. What is your... what would you think, like, say top 5 most popular religions is?
Christianity, Catholic, Hinduism, any isms really.
So crazy thing, it's changed from last night to today. Google's list. So I don't know how accurate this is again, but as of Google says, quoting Google, last night it said Christianity was number 1. But today, Islam is number 1, which I think those two are, like, pretty close, like, anyway. So, surprisingly, let's count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, being Catholic is number 8
Dang.
on the list. I did not think that. But, yeah, Islam... number 1, Christianity number 2, Buddhism is 3, Judaism is 4, and Hinduism is 5. So all the isms.
Yeah.
And then there's Ikism, or Sikhism. I don't know how to say that. But that's number 6, and then Baha'i Faith is number 7. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, number 7. But yeah, there's a lot different. What you gotta think? I think like China's like Buddhism and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. See now, from sources across the world, see Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, Hinduism, Judaism. So now they switched up again. See, I don't know how accurate that is, but I know those like 5 are pretty well known for being the top religions.
Yeah.
But that's so wild. But just that's the crazy part is like the how dramatic the different religions are, right? Some of them are like, oh, you know, you do you, I'm gonna do me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then some of them are like, you don't believe us, we're just gonna kill everybody. Like, like it's like, whoa, like calm down there. But yeah, we talked about all kinds of stuff last night. tried to open it so quietly, it's just like crack. But yeah, we never did get into COVID. Did you ever get COVID?
Did not. Was around it multiple times. They actually, right when COVID first hit, the mines gave us a paper saying that the National Guard would be coming into town and we would be guided from our house to work and back to our houses. That was one option. Or the option was to secure the mine to keep it going, and we'd have to just stay there 24 hours a day for 2 weeks. That's how dramatic it got right at the first.
No shit. I did not know about that.
Yeah.
So the National Guard was going to escort you.
That's what the higher-ups of our company said, that they were getting ready in Chicago and they were coming down and was going to escort us from home to work. That, or they were going to lock. We had to sign a waiver, be locked in the mine until COVID passed. But obviously it never did.
That's crazy. But they never did that. They never did either of those?
No.
See, that's wild. That's like a...
But
wow.
Nobody knew what exactly was happening, so...
everybody's probably just freaking out.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody that works at the mines, especially, like, okay, are we gonna be stuck here for 2 weeks at a time, or are we gonna be escorted by essentially military through? I mean, the location to do that though. Like, what's Southern Illinois? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the power plant, we supply the power plant 20,000 tons of coal every day, 24 hours a day, 375 days a year. I mean,
Damn. So y'all are running the power plant.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's wild. Yeah. See, I got COVID twice, and the first time, the first day it felt like a cold, and then the second day, dude, like my knees and my joints, like it felt like my legs were gonna fall off at my knees, is what it felt like. And then the next day, like, so I finally went to sleep. I was finally able to go to sleep. The next day I woke up perfectly fine. Never had a fever, never lost taste or smell, nothing. I had severe joint pains. And this is the first day after I got tested. So I felt kind of sick, like a cold, so they had me go get tested. I tested positive on a rapid test, which who knows how accurate that was.
Right.
But I did test positive, so they had me stay home. That second day, which had been the first day after getting my test, felt like shit. And then the next day, nothing. I was perfectly fine. Now, the second time I got it, it was like 3 days of feeling like I had a cold, and that's it. Like nothing. So I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of. It's so weird because there's also a thing that people are saying. It's like people are getting like COVID and the flu at the same time, and like that's really messing people up because you got to think like the flu's pretty. It's not the best to get, and then COVID's not the best to get either. You get both of them at the same time, you're screwed. Like, there's that, and then there's like, but you gotta think like they're not documenting that, right? Like whenever you get you might have the flu and COVID, but they're just being like, oh, it's just COVID, or you might just have the flu and they're like, oh, it's just COVID,
right?
Like, I want to know how many flu cases there were while COVID was going on, because nobody talked about the flu.
No.
Like, if somebody's sick, you had COVID. The flu was non-existent.
Yeah.
It was wild. Luckily, I was in Texas the whole time, so we didn't. Nothing was really locked down that bad or nothing. Like,
Yeah.
they do what they want down there. They're like, don't get sick. Like, that's their plan.
Yeah.
But I mean, they turned out all right. They didn't, you know what I mean? They didn't freak out like everybody else, really. And then, I mean, that's like California stuff. There's still stuff shut down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild. I'd be pissed. But that's why everybody from California is moving to Texas. Like, Texas people don't like it, but
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of people moving from LA to, well, like Rogan and who else is all there? There's so many people there. So many comedians. Dude, that's why I want to go to Austin. Just because all the comedians moved to Austin, man. I want to just take a trip there. Rogan's supposed to be opening up at a club eventually. I don't know. It's in construction. But he's supposed to be opening up in his own club. I was like, dude, that'd be so dope. Because he brings all kinds of people down there, dude. He's convincing everybody to move there. It's so dope down there. So many people that you have a chance of, like, they just pop in to random comedian stores. I've never been to a comedy club or comedy store or anything before. I don't know if we have one around here or not.
I went and seen Burt Kreischer in St. Louis.
No shit.
That was pretty wild.
Yeah. Did he take his shirt off?
Yeah, he did the machine story. It's a pretty good time.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about one time. Apparently, that's his thing now, right? Like, he can't not go somewhere and not take his shirt off.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, mandatory for him. Like, you don't see other comedians go up there and take their shirt off. So that's his thing. But I don't know. I don't know if we have any like stand up or open mics around here. I haven't heard of any. I also haven't looked any up, so I have no idea.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. We might. I don't know if I'd go up and do an open mic. But yeah, like I think it'd be cool to go. Just to see the atmosphere, I guess. See what it's like. Yeah, like see. I don't see anything open mic wise. You might be able to get some places. Actually, a place you could probably do it, now that I think about it, is what's that one bar in town right across from Coke?
Sandy's?
No, the Rank and Files.
Oh yeah.
I bet you could do open mic there. It'd be a hard crowd. It's a lot of older people, not older people, but compared to me, it's a lot of they're like I went in there one time. I seen like teachers that I knew, like teachers from elementary school that I knew. You know what I mean? So like they're quite older than me, but
I'm sure St. Nicholas might be entertaining to something like that.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, they probably would let you do something like that. I don't know what it'd be if you had to book it or like if you could. I mean, I don't know if they have an open stage or anything, but yeah, I'm sure there's places you could go and try it. I'd like to go watch it for sure, but I don't know if I could get up there. I'm not. I don't know. I think it's weird to be say I am funny. I like to joke around, but I don't know. I couldn't do comedy. I don't think for sure. But dude, Blake, could you imagine?
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine if so? Blake is the funniest dude I know. Okay, like he is hilarious. He don't really try. I don't think. Like he's just funny. Like there's everything comes out of his mouth is hilarious, or anything he does. But like could you imagine? I don't know if that's the thing though, because there's people that are really funny people, but I don't think they do good if they're like try to be funny, or if they go up on stage to be funny. I don't know if they'd be good. Like, I don't know if Blake could go up on stage and be funny. I mean, I'm sure he could. Like I'm sure he could get laughs. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't be a judge on that because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about being a comedian. But yeah, that's always the thing. I've been, especially like hearing, like listening to like Burt Kreischer and all their shows and stuff like that. Just like what it takes to be a comedian and everything like that. It's like almost they say it's like undescribable on like how the amount of work you got to put into it. Oh yeah, it's like it's a lifestyle. It's not a just a 9-to-5 job. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a weird path for sure. COVID almost killed it. Yeah, COVID almost killed comedians because they just couldn't go nowhere. You can't do comedy when you don't have nowhere to go to do comedy. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's why there's podcasts. Everything blew up. Yeah, and everybody with a podcast. You can make a funny YouTube channel. Like if you're a comedian, you most likely kill on YouTube or podcast, or like any channel like that. I love listening to like especially comedians podcasts. Like there's some podcasts that you're just like, oh god, like you gotta really want to learn specific shit sometimes to want to listen to a podcast. But then there's some that are just like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to this because it makes like I might not know what they're talking about, but it's freaking hilarious. Like, you know what I mean? So like, it just kills time. Yeah, it's kind of what this is. But you know what I mean? Like,
have you ever listened to Theo Von's podcast?
Theo Von? No, that's what I don't know if it's on the podcast. I know before the podcast yesterday, they were talking about listening to Theo Von's. I don't think I have. I'm going to have to look that up and listen to it.
He is hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever listened to that one. I'm going to have to, though. I bet it. I bet it is, but yeah, we Oh, I can't wait, dude. So are you gonna be on when Keith's on?
Can be.
Just depends.
Yeah. That's how court goes tomorrow.
yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we started this. It's awesome. It's so fun to do too. Like I would. Like it don't matter. Like obviously it matters. Like I like to see this grow, but it's so fun to do, and it's like, I mean, we could sit around and have conversations all day. You know what I mean? Like, you sit around with anybody and have a conversation, but it's so fun when you're like, oh, hey, let's put these headphones on, let's put this mic in front of us, let's have a conversation, and then now it's on the record. Like, yeah, I mean, like now that we've had this conversation, it's on the record and it's gonna be out there. So like yeah, we could edit it and stuff. So yeah, I mean, we're not live, so we could edit it and stuff, but there's not really much you need to edit. Like, only thing we're gonna edit is that we'll take a break. It's tired of sitting here. But we gotta go take a piss or something, which I never did.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I got called Keith and never went and took a piss. That's alright. But yeah, it's fun though, man. When do you think the first time we ever thought about having a podcast was? I'd say. So what year did we start all hanging out at the garage? The main five. Or when did I start hanging out at the garage? I guess because you guys were hanging out there before I was. Like you, Blake, and Alex were there.
Yeah, that's where it all started.
That's where it all started. But when did like Gabe and Garrison and them come in?
Well, I met Alex first. He came over and was playing Minecraft or whatever, and I felt kind of out of place, so I went out to the garage and was looking at it, and I was like, we can make this something, and then started talking to them guys about it, and then Gabe came over, started coming over after school and shit, and then Garrison was right next to Gabe all the time, so I'd say...
How long do you think it was? Was it very long after that when Garrison brought me over there, or was it like shortly after?
It was shortly after. Like as soon as it kind of just blew up right after that. Like,
yeah, because I know once. So we were hanging out there for a while. Well, Aiden was there too.
Yeah,
a lot. So it was me, Gabe, Aiden, and all them, and Garrison and Blake, obviously. But dude, that was it's insane. Like, even though it's fucked up right now, the garage is so messed up, you can still walk in there and be like, you could take all the junk out of here and it's still a lot better than the old garage. Like, whenever we first went in there, it was terrible, man. Terrible. But we loved it. I got one video of the old garage, and you can see what the old garage looks like, but we already had the cots in there, so like it was a while in.
Yeah.
But what year was that? I graduated in 19. It had been like 2016.
Had to be.
No, 2017 probably. Because I think Blake and them were freshmen, right?
Yeah.
So it would have been like 2017.
Well,
or 26. Well, no, because 2016, 2017, that was my freshman year. Because I graduated 8th grade in 2015.
Yeah. Alex just got his license because I remember him staying over and then him ended up having to drive me because I lost my license then too. So.
Yeah. So that's, I think, yeah, so I think it would have been their freshman year. And then, because it was my sophomore, junior, senior year. Or like halfway through my sophomore year, I think.
Yeah.
So.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, if it was let's see, 17. What, 5 years? Right? Yeah, 5 years almost.
Oh yeah, I've been at the mines for 3 years. So.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. Yeah, it's like I was thinking about that the other day. Like I went on the road. I've been to all over the U.S. building wind farms, doing all kinds of shit, and then come back, and it's already been like 3 years. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I was like, that went quick. I mean, like, dude, I said that the other day. We were at not the other day, but a while ago, we were at my parents', and I don't know what we were doing, but I was like, man, I miss high school. And my mom was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what did he just say? Because all through high school, I was like, dude, I hate this place. I can't wait to be gone. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, you got to think. Because when I was in high school, I was like, I had zero responsibilities. Mm-hmm. Like, I had a couple, but nothing, like, crazy. So, like, I had to get enough money from either allowance or allowance from my parents and them or a job, like, which was usually, like, working on the weekends or something. Just the only money I needed was for gas, which I had to pay insurance on my truck, like, half-ass, because, like, sometimes I'd be like, oh, shit, I can't pay it, so my parents, like, help me on it, like, I have to pay, like, half of it or something, but mostly I had to pay insurance on my truck, and then I had to have gas to drive around, which back then it wasn't, you know what I mean, I didn't have to pay $8 a gallon, but,
right.
But, you know what I mean, so I had to have money for that, and then, you know, your food and your snacks and your whatever you're gonna do, while you're out and about, but for the most part, I mean, shit, we were just at the garage drinking Mocha David, so that wasn't too expensive.
No.
Like $12 or $12, $15, we'd have a freaking blast. Everybody pitch in $1 or $2, get cups and pong balls.
Yeah.
We could be up for hours. like we could be out for days, just doing stuff all around the garage. Or we'd come up with the craziest stuff to do. I forgot who I was talking to. Do you remember whenever we pulled Alex behind Garrison's truck in a Walmart basket?
Yeah, I was just thinking that right before you said that.
So what we did was, we had I don't remember where it came. I think it came from Blake's cousin, right? We took it from Walmart, the Walmart basket. We won't say exactly who, but it was somebody took a Walmart basket from Walmart, and we acquired it, right? It was just in the garage. We're like, yeah, you know what? So we're like, we're gonna tie a pencil weight for like a boat. So it's like a foot long pencil weight. For a boat onto a rope, and then tie that rope to the back of the truck.
Yeah.
And then have Alex hold on to the weight while he's sitting in this little basket, not a cart, like a Walmart basket, and we're gonna drag him down the road in it. So we did. I mean, it worked, right, for about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Until the bottom of the basket just grinded off on the road, and then they
grinded him up.
Yeah, I mean, he had road rash on his butt and everything. I mean, he's just tore up, rolled him down the road and everything. Yeah, we did all kinds of stupid stuff like that. All kinds of stupid stuff. But it was fun, though. We had a blast. But nobody, like I said, I think people got hurt. Like, I can't say people didn't get hurt. I'd be lying. But there was only a couple times somebody got seriously injured. And usually when somebody got seriously injured, we weren't even doing nothing stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you tripped over a book bag and you broke your leg in 3 spots.
Yeah.
Garrison punched a wall, he broke his hand. Like, well, he didn't even punch a wall, he punched the end, of a bumper wall. So, like, I mean, he was pissed off and hit the wall and broke his hand, which...
That
happens on the big jobs. But, you know, like, it's stuff like that, you know, we, like, oh well. Just another day in the garage.
Yeah.
But nobody got seriously injured, I would say. A little road rash, little cuts and scrapes, bruises, but yeah. I would say the wild part about it is there's some times where we were going to rip each other's heads off in the garage, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And we were at each other's throats. And then it'd be like the next day, we'd be like, hey, we go in the garage for lunch? Or who's all going to be there? Yeah. It's wild. Yeah, it was always a fun time. Everybody's got time and effort and money put into the garage, too. Well, I wouldn't say everybody, but the OGs. The OGs got time and effort put into that place. So
yeah.
That's part of the reason that it being messed up is just a shame. Because it's just like, wow. Like, really? Unfortunately, as well. Unfortunately, it's messed up because of people that aren't the OGs. So, like, yeah, I mean, like, you don't have, like, me or you or Aiden or Gabe or Blake, really. I mean, they'd throw stuff every once in a while. We'd all get reckless every once in a while, but you didn't have us destroying the new garage, really. It's people that showed up afterwards that, obviously, they're all good friends, right? Like, we're still part of the Hoodnecks, we'd say.
Oh, yeah.
But, definitely not the OGs. I think it's funny whenever we start talking about the OG Hoodnecks is some people that'll be like, oh yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, you were there, but we're talking about not that time period. Like, we're talking about, like, if anybody can say they were physically in the old garage, I'd say that's OG Hoodnecks.
Yep.
So, like, I think the list, would be, if you run it back, would be me and you, obviously, Blake, obviously, Alex, obviously, Garrison, obviously, brought me there, and then Gabe and Aiden.
Yep.
I think that's it.
I really do think that's it.
So, what did I say? Me, you, Blake, Alex, Gabe, Aiden, Garrison. I think there's 7 of us in total.
Yeah.
And then I think you had Chris Myers. He came in.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, he came in. Yeah, hi, Chris. He came in pretty early. And then who was it? Ethan. Ethan came in, I think, somewhat right after Chris.
Yeah.
As well. I might be forgetting somebody too, but no offense to the girlfriends, but none of the girlfriends count as Hoodnecks.
Nope.
If that, we'd have a lot more people in the Hoodnecks if that was the case. Not as many as you think, though, because a lot of them came through there quite a few times.
Yeah. Switch them up.
Yeah. No, there's just 1 or 2 or 3 that came through there a couple times. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But we, none of the girlfriends ever counted as Hoodnecks. But, they always get, it's like Garrison and Faith. Like, Garrison's gone and Faith's here. We always invite Faith to do stuff because, like, she's part of the friend group.
Right.
She ain't part of the Hoodnecks.
No.
Like
sad to say. But.
Yeah, sad. Sorry, I'm sorry to say that. Like, not to be a dick.
Right.
But it's a sexist group. It's guys only.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be persecuted for saying that one, but it is. I mean, that was a very testosterone-filled male environment.
Yeah.
Going on inside there. As in, get hammered and play Guitar Hero for 6 hours and.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, oh god, dude, my neck has never hurt so bad than playing Guitar Hero for that long and just headbanging. I mean, just headbanging for hours, and waking up the next morning and just be like, oh my god, like, you can't. If I can't turn my head to look at you, it wasn't a good time.
Yeah.
It was fun. It just wasn't good for my body. Me and Blake, geez, we were hurting, bad hurting, but. There's a lot of good times that came out of the garage for sure. A lot of legendary stories.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we sit there. It was either two things were going on there, right? We were either going nuts, like it was, like everybody's going crazy, and we were just doing the randomest of stuff. It was always loud. It didn't matter. It was loud in there, right? Like,
Yeah.
like there was no peace and quiet in the garage.
Killing squirrels and skinning them in the bag.
Yeah. He's in the middle of town. We're shooting squirrels with a pellet gun and skinning them in the back of the garage and eating them. I mean, we ate them. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we were just killing them and not eating.
Wasteful.
Yeah, we definitely killed them and ate them for sure. But yeah, there's some weird shit. But we could definitely. There was times. The only peaceful time I'd say was early in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
which that was so it's early in the morning before or during summer, because early in the morning during school there'd be people there before school.
Yeah.
Like Alex would be there before school, rummaging through shit trying to find a jewel pod. So like,
Very true.
so you couldn't. It was summertime early in the morning, mostly because everybody's asleep and passed out in their knees locked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a time. Yeah, we've had some good ones in there. There's been a lot of times that I was like, man, I wish the garage could get so messed up. I feel like every time I came home off the road, it was just more and more messed up. And I was like, God dang it. Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is going on here? There's a lot of people that came into the garage, though, after I left.
Yeah.
A lot of people I didn't know that had been there. I was like, wow. It's like, well, you guys see what happens when you open up the friend group too much. I was like, but, it happens. Part of life, I guess. We could always fix it, realistically.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be exactly what it was? Probably not, because am I going to go buy 3 TVs from that place? No. Because we ain't going to be in there like we used to, but we lived in that place. But, alright, let's wrap this up. Benji, nice having you on again. Hopefully, possibly co-host.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna work through that. Hopefully we got a couple ideas of people we're gonna have on. And then any social media, anything out, Facebook, anything like that you may give out. If not, that's fine. But Hoodnecks podcast will be Hoodnecks podcast and blog on YouTube, and we're going to try to get everything on Spotify and Apple Music and everything else. So we'll keep everybody updated on that. But YouTube for sure is going to be Hoodnecks podcast and vlog, and then SoundCloud as well will be Hoodnecks podcast and vlog. So look it up. We'll be on there. Hopefully have some interesting conversations to come.
Yes, sir.
But we'll do this again for sure. Y'all have a good one.